And like I talk to my mom, like I talk to anybody that I'm close with. Like if I'm close with you and I know you like that, like I speak freely. Like I don't, uh, like I only watch my my mouth and my presentation around people that I don't really know like that because I don't know how. But if I know you well enough, I don't care. You're my boss. You're my like. If we're on that level, I'm gonna talk how I talk.
Even you wait. Let's pull up. Pull up. Let's pull up for the people. Pull up for me. So because we you and I talked about that already
Yeah,
off
yeah,
camera,
yeah.
but you would talk to your boss like that?
Because me and my boss talk like outside of work. You know what I mean? Like we have a personal relationship outside of work.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. So again, just for the people. So you would talk to your boss however you felt outside of work, but not at work.
Nah, like sometimes even at work, you know what I mean? Like I'll try. Obviously, I'll tone it down a little bit for the professional atmosphere, but like there's times when I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and I'm not gonna edit my words and shit like that. Like, that's probably something that's gonna hold me back and has held me back in the past, and I acknowledge that. But at the end of the day, like I can't put on a show for nobody. Like I have a real big thing about being true and just being who I am. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? That's just it might be a downfall of mine, but um, but yeah, like go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm just
Um,
saying slippery slope. Maybe Ty has some.
what?
I think it's tough because as a former director and manager, regardless of our relationship or my relationship with my employer, I always had a switch, right? Because I know sometimes they have to speak or behave a certain way to put a vibe or let other people understand like where they're coming from, and there's no favoritism or anything like that, you know. And I think when those lines start to get crossed, especially from employee to employee to the boss, it can kind of create some big conflicts. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I don't tolerate that. To me, that's like insubordination. Like I would never belittle anyone that works for me. And that's why I always kind of keep a wedge between like the personal and like the business. Like I had a situation like that a couple times, and I've always found myself saying this was like a mistake. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to make tough decisions, and if you're not able to speak as someone that is removed from that person, like let's say you got to terminate somebody. Like I've terminated a couple people. To me, you don't terminate people, people terminate themselves. You're just following the rules that were set and they just are not adhering to it or they're not performing to the standards that's needed for the job. And therefore, you know, you've taken the appropriate steps, you know, by talking to them one time, verbal warning, written warning, second time, third time, then you know, you're out of here type of thing, 3 strikes, and you're out for the same offense, offering them an opportunity. But if you're not, if you're allowing personal things to come in, you're not going to be an efficient, effective boss, right? So I kind
I
of do that.
I don't want you to think like I'm in there fucking being crazy disrespectful, but like I'll like when I you know
I
when
don't
I talk.
see you with the lights.
I'm just saying when I talk, you know what I mean. I swear when I talk, you know what I mean. It's not to be disrespectful. I just swear when I talk. Like I just whereas like if it's somebody I don't know, like upper management, you know what I mean. I'll tone that down a little bit because like I don't know how they're gonna perceive it. But
Gotcha.
like I'm giving pretty much I give the same energy that I get. You know what I mean. Um, I don't think I'm like I don't think I'm crazy or disrespectful. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler? Am I wrong?
What when it comes to like speaking of like the director and shit
Or just yeah, like
in
I
general?
mean, yeah,
I mean, that's different though. But at the same time, I don't know because like I think with our relationship when it comes to work, when it comes to our director, it's more so like I don't want to say that we fuck it. I'm gonna like it's sometimes like we just kind of have to be like that with him because you know at least speaking from my experiences and stuff like that, the things that we went through at that job, like when we came in there, that shit was a mess. It was a fucking mess. It was a mess, and nobody wanted to do anything to change it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Everybody was kind of stuck in their ways, And I think like there was a lot of events that happened that were sparked by, me and Jay, that changed a lot of things going on that unit,
For
changed
the
like the
better.
culture and stuff.
For the better?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the director that we have now, he wasn't there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like we just had a lot more say on everything that was going on. Basically, like that's our job. You know what I mean? We run a unit. We run a unit. And we pretty much were just doing our job and making sure shit was done right. But now now he's there. He wants like a lot more say into what goes on the floor and stuff like that. And that's perfectly fine. He's the director or whatever. But I think more for us, it's more of letting him know, like, listen, like we didn't get here by being yes men. We didn't get here by doing everything this way and that way. Like we challenged shit. We changed things. We didn't just let people do whatever the fuck they wanted. We didn't do none of that. Like that's just not us. So like, yeah, you're gonna sit here and say what it is that you feel you want to be done, but we've been here and we know what it's like when shit was crazy. We know what it was like when people were just fucking doing whatever the hell it is that they felt like they wanted and stuff like that. So we're not trying to get back there. So we'll take what it is you're saying, but we still want to let you know that this is what we're doing too. Not saying like fuck you, we're doing this anyways, but don't get too far away from what we did to build us to get to where we're at.
So you want to kind of know this person to know, like, hey, here's the background to what you're walking into.
Yeah.
We are previous to. We're not going to try to outrank you, but
Right.
This is how we kind of work things out and how we got this current, say, culture / environment here, and kind of to piggyback back off of what the question was really about is like with the parents. So I think it was kind of saying is, hey, Ma, cut me off if you want at any time, Jay. I'm trying to do this with the kitchen. I get it. This is my vision. But again, from the conversation Jay had said, and Jay finally said to me, hey, she actually has some good inputs. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Good to kind of have that conversation.
Like it's just
right.
Like I said, it's not that I don't, and that was my issue, or that was her issue. Her issue she thought I was just trying to shut her up and not let her ask her questions. When I broke it down to her once we spoke, I was like, yo, I wasn't trying to do that. I knew you had questions. I was gonna allow you to ask them. It just wasn't the time. Like this dude, he didn't communicate. He didn't know English very well. He's communicating through him. Like I'm not gonna have you come in and start, you know what I mean, adding a bunch of questions. Like we can deal with all that with my homie. You know what I mean? And just like, and again, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not calling her names. I'm not calling her nothing like that. But sometimes people just need to know about themselves. And like, because people, like for me, like I asked the question of Tyler, like, am I wrong? That's a genuine question. It's not like a cocky, like, oh, I'm not wrong. It's a, yo, if I'm wrong, tell me. Because I feel like a lot of times people will feel a certain way about something, but not tell the person that they feel that way. And then that's how it just never gets resolved. So like, if I'm fucking up, if I'm doing something, if I'm, you know what I mean? Like, tell me about it. You know what I mean? Because I might not know. I might not realize that I'm doing it wrong because I'm just so used to it. Or I'm just so, you know what I mean? Nobody's ever told me otherwise. So it's just more of like that's why I am the way I am. I can't just sit there and allow you to continue to do something that I have an issue with, no matter who you are, because like I just can't rock like that. You know what I mean? I can't live like that. I can't just be a yes man. I can't, oh, you outrank me or you're my mother or whatever the case is. Like I can't, I take a lot of, I put a lot of stock into like my mental health, and that shit really bothers me if I'm like, if I'm not letting you know how I feel. You know what I mean?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your further listening pleasure,